cool. Apparently, Facebook is a tough crowd. I'm, I'm getting a lot of rough feedback from my family members who don't really get what I'm doing. It's a day of the life of Justin Trent in coaching. It's 8:32. I'm doing my outreach, marketing, sales, effortless flow-based prosperity and finance, working on my business once again. And I see the value in the service that I provide, and I continue to market myself and do everything I can in order to put on for my family and the rest of the world in these crazy times of human evolution and human development. So we got, you know, pattern recognition, systemic conditioning, and that's going against integral awareness. Now, what my family is seeing from me is a young man not working a real job, uh, being a burden to the family system, a person who's speaking in a language that they don't comprehend or understand, and a problem that needs correction or compliance. And what I'm becoming is a self regulating, self authoring, self transforming being, a conscious disruptor of their shame based systems, a mirror exposing the false self image that they've inherited to believe such things, and a signal of evolution in this manifestation that is so rigid that it's dying out. Uh, and these people aren't wrong for thinking these things. I mean, they're used to recognizing these patterns in a sense of survival that's going to uh, push things further along in a way that makes sense for them. And that pattern recognition gives them a sense of safety. And so I totally understand that, right? And I'm not replicating these negative patterns that they're assuming that I am because I'm carving this new path that they've never seen before. Um, this is like a recursive, self-reflective, holonic, mimetic megastructure within consciousness that is threatening the illusion of stability that they've constructed. And this isn't rebellion. This is resonating with my core values, tuning into myself, that sense of authenticity that a lot of people have never dared to touch or go towards. Uh, a lot of people can't really see what I have to offer, right? They're not going to get it. They've never engaged with these kinds of ideas, nor do they see the importance of these ideas. Because what I do rips apart people's identity, right? I've built these frameworks and these structures to believe in, ripped them apart to find out why what I believe is completely wrong, and put the system back together so many times that if someone else is right and I'm wrong, then by all means, like, please get me on the right page. But beyond that, I've been wrong so many times that if someone's presenting me with the same information that I've gotten wrong previously, why would I attempt to integrate that new feedback? It wouldn't make sense. Like, I've already considered those options. Like my dad, he's a Mason. There were plenty of times where when I was working for him, I would come up with an idea of how to get the project done, and he would totally blow me off and just not acknowledge what I just said because he's already considered all of those outcomes, right? And so why would I even entertain what you're saying in the flow and my process of getting the actual work done when I've been doing this more than you? I've been planning out my life and figuring out where I've gone wrong, where I have these faulty beliefs that just are not congruent with the place that I want to go in my life. And it's really painful at times when your family can't really see who you are at your core because what you see is going to be disrespect. You're going to see disrespect because I don't respect the system that you've been brought up with. It's painful to watch people mistake what I love for disrespect and like a trampling of their freedom. But, like I'm not going to betray my trust in myself for delusion or, trade in my patience and call myself lazy for it or, say that when I'm being present with myself and taking time that I know is valuable to my cause and being present, that I'm being passive, right? And because I don't identify with these survival based paradigms of value equaling labor and obedience and appearances, and I'm operating from being and resonance and liberation and love, obviously it's going to crash with these outdated systems. Uh, I've spent so much of my time trying to figure out where I'm wrong and just ripping that up. And like, I'm really humble about the fact that like I know nothing. Like, even the information that I am right about is not my information. I have absolutely zero level of authority over anyone. And my entire coaching process is not about telling you what the right way to live your life is, right? It's about getting you to tell yourself what the best way for you to live your life is. And I'm willing to be wrong moving forward, right? I'm willing to be seen, I'm willing to be ugly, I'm willing to take the wrong steps in public. And like, you know, a lot of people have grown up in this system of being wrong equals weakness. Being wrong is shameful. Being wrong, you're going to get punished for it. And you're not broken, right? You're post broken, right? You've entered the stage where even your errors become compost for clarity and doing things the right way moving forward. So as you continue to live your life with more love and more grace for yourself, right? You're going to be able to take the steps that you need to in order to evolve, right? So when someone sees something outside of the trauma contract that's outdated that, you all sign without reading the rules, now you've got this, broken chain of generational self-denial and inherited obedience and praise for performance and conditioning and like the way that I don't rock with any of that sense of shame or condemnation or coercion that's used in order to keep the system functioning properly. It looks like madness to people, but really it's just super clarity on the fact that the system is trying to use you. And like that clarity is painful to those who've been invested in the illusion, right? I'm not trying to be better than anybody. I'm trying to be free from these patterns that make us all suffer. If you think I'm wrong, that's okay, but like I'm not trying to be like shrunk down to be digestible for somebody else. Like I speak the truth. If you want to like prove it wrong, then by all means like tell me where I'm wrong and we can move forward on the same path together. But I'm not just gonna like stand idly by and just let people be loud and wrong about it. Uh, I'm not here to make people comfortable. Like I'm here to like push boundaries. I'm here to be totally invested in everything that I believe in to the core of my being so wholeheartedly. Like I am like Michael Jordan when it comes to this getting wrong game. When I get things wrong, I do it like Mike. I do it like Kobe. I'm so deeply invested to the darkest part of my psyche, the fact that like I need to get more things wrong. I try so hard at a championship level. Let's figure out where the root of the problem within this epistemology lies. And if I seem arrogant, it's because I trust so thoroughly in what's moving through me and what my vision is for my future, and I'm so clear on it. And I'm so unbelievably grounded in my beliefs and my trust in the fact that I'm believing in the right system for me, and that I can find that your way is the best way. What works for you isn't going to work for me because that's your system. This is my system, and how these systems are interrelated, we figure it out. So if that makes me the villain in someone's story, then so be it. Right? I'm writing a story where all of us get to be whole. People are less miserable and less hateful, you know, and understanding of their own trauma and their own patterns. So tell people to focus on breathing. Tell people to focus on being present. Tell people to focus on trusting themselves in what they have going, and let stillness speak louder than rebuttals. That I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm really at a low level. I'm barely here to persuade people, right? At the end of the day, I know that I'm coherent long enough for people to feel their own sense of incoherence, right? That if you're watching this and you feel some kind of way and it's irritating your soul, well, that's good. It shows that you need to love yourself more. And I think that, I'm not failing, that I'm getting initiated, that I find this time in my life to be really valuable, and that I continue to grow myself and lead myself in the direction that I'm heading. And I continue to lead other people to live in their truth as well. So, thanks for your time. And until next time, peace.